Access Sacramento presents Hometown Sports Game of the Week. Major underwriting support this season for Hometown Sports Game of the Week on Access Sacramento is provided by the Sacramento Metropolitan Cable Television Commission. Access Sacramento also thanks Sharif Jewelers, fine jewelers since 1932. Sharif Jewelers, a longtime sponsor of community television. And Folsom Lake Honda, a proud sponsor of Access Sacramento's Hometown TV and Game of the Week, and a partner in our community, Folsom Lake Honda.
The plot continues to thicken in terms of the Sac Joaquin Section High School basketball slate as we enter the second half of league play. And tonight, on the boys' side, we have a special attraction tonight. The Delta League is unpredictable, and two of the heavyweights are squaring off tonight on Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week. Good evening and welcome to the Huskies house. We're here at Sheldon High School. Along with Lauren Goodman, I'm Will James. We welcome you aboard, and you better fasten your seatbelts because it's going to be a bumpy ride tonight in this Delta League matchup.
Oh, it absolutely is. This Delta League has held no holds bars, completely tough, nobody going undefeated. So that's the type of league you want, and these two teams are at the right place at the right time.
Well, Ken Manfredi's Franklin Wildcats have their work cut out tonight. They're coming in as visitors on the road here to Sheldon High to face the top-rated team in the area, and they've been the top-rated team in the area, Sheldon High. But they registered a victory last year against Joey Rawlings Ball Club, so they know how to get it done, and they played an excellent 2.5 quarters in the first matchup.
Oh, yes, I think Coach Manfredi and the Wildcats are really prepared. They have enough punch power to come back and do what they did last year. So if they have their heads on straight, oh, Sheldon's going to have a lot on their hands.
Now for the host Huskies under Joey Rawlings, they've got the superior record again and a formidable roster with star power, but they have just recently completed a grueling cross-country road trip, and signs of that type of fatigue may show up tonight.
Oh, yes, this team is battle-tested. They've played pretty much a top 10 schedule in the country, and they're number 5 in the state for a reason. They play night in and night out against tough competitors, and they have shown up. They have a balanced attack with what they're bringing. Like you said, star-studded and enough weapons to handle the Wildcats.
They do have weapons. Now, there is plenty of history between these two squads. Close proximity, same conference. Now, the last time they met, it was on January 8th. It started out hot and furious, but a big second half for Joey Rawlings Ball Club told the tale.
Yeah, we were actually at this game. Franklin came out with an extremely great game plan, being able to subside the Wolfpack. But when they came out of that timeout, or that halftime, it was a totally different Husky team. They came out really forcing turnovers, and it started with their full court pressure. It came out, and it was 5 dunks. Oh, my goodness. We saw a show by Mr. Xavier Brown in that first matchup.
We sure did. High flying and nasty dunking. Now, the last outings for these two ball clubs, a little bit different considering the travel and days off and a bye, but it appears that Franklin's coming in more rested.
Absolutely. They played the Consume the Soaks Wolfpack, who had just beat the Huskies earlier that week. It was a must-win because at that same night, Franklin took a loss to Elk Grove prior to that matchup, so must-win. They pulled a quick one off, and they got really turned around the week for themselves. And then you saw this week earlier, the Huskies were able to defeat the Herd in their lowest margin of loss this season, so they came out extremely strong, even missing Bagley.
You know, Sheldon's most notably associated with high-flying dunks and super speed, but their defense in that Elk Grove game, that may have been their finest all-around performance. In 3 of the 4 quarters, Elk Grove only managed single-digit scoring, and they got walloped at 35, as you said, Lauren, their season low. Well, impact players usually tell the tale, and there's plenty of impact players in tonight's contest.
Well, let's start with the Wildcats' big 3. They got one, Marquise Grove. I mean, he's a star-studded player coming off, really can do it all. But then they got Jazz Blackwell, who really sets the tone on defense and can do it all. He really opens the team up and really moves the ball well. And then they got Davion Wright, the young sophomore, who's been really stepping up time after time for the Wildcats. On the other side, the Sheldon Speedsters, they don't hold any bars either. Number 1, Josh Williams, he really sets the tone at point guard, has a balanced attack and really bringing it. And number 2, Xavier Brown. When we saw them in the last matchup, he had 5 threes. The young player can play. And then Marcus Bagley, the star-studded, averaging over 20 points a game for the Sheldon Huskies, but he's not able to play tonight. So we're going to see who that fill-in is, and it should be interesting.
Well, it's not the first time he's been unable to go for various reasons, but Joey Rawlings regulates that roster pretty well, and I'm quite sure some capable substitutes will be getting plenty of floor time tonight. So, that being said, we have the table set for you here at Sheldon High. The Huskies hosting visiting Franklin in Access Sacramento's hometown sports game of the week. Stick right there. We'll be right back for more of tonight's big ball game when we return.
These are cool. Did you, what did you?
Bye-bye.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right?
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
Selfie. Nailed it.
Staring contest. You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Here's something we bet you didn't know. Nearly half of all cancers can be prevented. That's right, half. Nearly 50%, mostly by making small everyday changes in your diet and controlling your weight, walking more, eating less, and eating foods that help you and your family to seriously reduce the risk of cancer. And of course, by not smoking. Visit the Cancer Prevention Together We Can website and get a free 30-day planner filled with tips, recipes, stats, and more about protecting your family. Go to prevent50.org.
Welcome to the show. Access Sacramento and the hometown sports game of the week tonight, originating from Sheldon High School. Boys basketball, the order of the day. And tonight's Delta League humdinger of a matchup, the Huskies hosting crosstown rival Franklin High School. With Lauren Goodman and our ace statistician Dave Larson, I'm Will James. Nice to have you with us tonight, and I'm quite sure tonight's main event will be utterly pleasing regardless of the outcome. Lots of star power tonight, and I think it's going to be the type of game that we can easily anticipate. Lots of flash and dash, above the rim play, and probably some scintillating three-ball shooting, Lauren.
Oh, it's going to be an amazing game today. I think it's going to be fully loaded of intensity and really focused, talking to both teams. And both coaches, they're really locked in and dialed in and think that this is a must-win game. So what other atmosphere would you like on a Friday night?
Well, this outstanding Sheldon marching band getting the crowd revved up with some outstanding music here. Crowd continuing to flow in gradually, people getting off work and working their way through Friday rush hour traffic, but certainly the motivation to be here for this matchup is sufficient enough to fill the gym.
Absolutely. I think it's going to start building up tonight. It's also their makeup homecoming because the boys, as we talked about so much, has traveled and hasn't been able to be here for their homecoming, but they were able to make it up. So we're going to have a full load of people coming in throughout the night.
They met just a short time ago for the first half meeting on January 8th, and Sheldon was able to break open a tight game late in the third quarter and run themselves to an impressive, overwhelming victory, as Lauren mentioned in the early part of the pregame, with major speed and big-time dunking. We're going to come right back to Sheldon High and the Hometown Sports Game of the Week after this short break and check out tonight's starting lineups and brace ourselves for the opening tip-off.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
I cannot think of a more challenging song, especially a cappella, than the Star Spangled Banner. Beautiful job there. And we're going to check out starting lineups for these two squads before we get underway. The visiting Franklin Wildcats come in at 13-9 overall, 3-3 in the Delta League, and we'll give you a better close-up of the league standings in a little while. They're alternating lineups, so we'll give you Franklin first with Wright, Green, Blackman, Hargrove, and Baddragon. Hargrove, the team's leading scorer and a member of the Sheldon Huskies the previous 3 years. They're coached by Ken Manfredi in his 5th season guiding the Wildcats. For the host Sheldon Huskies, under 11-year head coach Joey Rawlings, Sheldon checks in at 17-4 overall, playing heavy competition. 4-1 in Delta League play, that loss coming to Cosumnes Oaks earlier in January. And here's a look at their 5. The Browns, not related despite the similarity in first names. They will put on a show with their floor game, speed and hopping. Williams, Dontrell Wright, and getting the call Darren Tobias will be in the starting five tonight. Star power top player Marcus Bagley sidelined again this evening. I believe he was wearing a boot, so possibly continuing foot problems. We've got a pair of excellent veteran officials from the NCOA keeping things fair and square tonight, led by the outstanding Jerry McLean. He's working with umpire Mike Walters this evening. Still not a capacity crowd yet, but people still streaming in from the main entrance. A lot of late pre-game party people still out in that entry area outside the gym. So I imagine before this first quarter's been completed, we'll see pretty much of a full house tonight. Franklin coming in wearing their road black, despite their primary color being a deep purple. And the host Huskies in their blue and white. Okay, a scrap for the ball on the first touch. Loose ball out of bounds, last touch by Franklin. So looks like the hosts will have first crack here. They'll inbound from the far side. Dontrell Hewlett to do the honors for the Huskies. Outstanding scoring and rebounding balance for Joey Rawlings Ball Club. 5 players averaging 9 points or better, with Bagley's 23 leading the way, though they won't have that tonight.
Well, they still have enough weapons to come in and play really, really strong. They showed us that the first time they played Franklin. Franklin hasn't gotten the opportunity to see Bagley this season, and they won't see him today. So there's some discussion right now about the tip.
I think the discussion from Ken Manfredi is when that ball rolled out of bounds, it kind of from here that
I thought it went off Williams.
I did too. So they have not changed the possession, and I think that was the point of contention raised by Coach Manfredi. Discussion over, inbound, we're underway.
Now for the Huskies, we're going to see their zone offense. Franklin comes out in the 2-3. They know the Huskies have a height advantage for sure.
Open daylight shooting and a miss. Oh my goodness, a push from behind. It's a foul against the Huskies. Committed there as a rebounding foul on Zavion Brown.
And that may be interesting if they can't control his fouls. He already picked up one ill-advised foul, so we shall see. Now this is how the Huskies started last time as well. They started in a man-to-man. The game changed immediately when they saw the pressure, but they're able to maintain the possession.
That's, excuse me, Goody. You know, that's 2 calls on out-of-bounds plays, and I don't think either of them were correct. But
no,
I'm not as close as those officials, but Ken Manfredi was in disbelief as well.
And we saw a little token pressure right there from the Wildcats, and they're going to have to fight it all today. They know that they're playing away, and they're going to have everybody, you know, that's the mindset to have. Everybody's against us, and we got to still play through that.
Jump shot off the left elbow, a little deeper, and it's very clean and sweet by Hewlett. Huskies draw first blood with a 3-ball. 3-0 Sheldon. We played a minute and a half or so.
Nice and patient. Here we go, right in the corner.
A miss there on an open shot. Who's got the leak out? Up the floor, and wisely backpedaling out to reset the offense.
We saw just a glimpse of how they want to go as Xavier misses on that one.
The runner missed, and here's a rebounding foul against Franklin. Nice rebounding effort by Tobias.
Yeah, extremely good rebound. Way to secure that there for the Huskies. But you saw little moments of the pace. That's how they want to play. Up-tempo, really push the ball. If they got a leaker out, they're going to have somebody back every time for Franklin. We saw that in game 1.
Open jump shot pops out. Huskies are 0 for 3 on perimeter shooting. That miss by Xavier Brown.
This is a nice matchup. I like Xavier Brown guarding on the other side. They switched that in the second half in the first game, so nice read by Rawlings and the staff by making an adjustment immediately, trying to minimize their scoring.
Hargrove being tightly defended. He's their leading scorer, and there's a block, but loose ball run down by the Wildcats.
And you see Hargrove getting a lot of extra claps as he used to be a former Husky.
Long miss on the 3-ball shot, but kept alive, tapped away, and saved. It's another turnover on Franklin. Transition Sheldon. Lob to the corner. Oh, we got a whistle's going to kill this play, though. Turnover on the play, first against Sheldon, 2 early ones on Franklin. Still a 3-0 lead. Cold outside shooting by both squads so far. Fast break, a miss. Here's another leak out. Baseball up the floor, layup, down. Cashed in sweet by Josh Williams, 5-0.
Sweet, nice layup, and you see Sheldon can guard the best of them. They've been playing nationally all season. They love to go into their man-to-man, and you see the pressure right there on Green.
A miss on the drive, but a foul against the Huskies. Let's take another look at the transition.
Williams with a nice little jelly on that one. Finish for 2.
So the Elk Grove transfer, Al Green at the stripe, and the southpaw misses number 1. Now they can't afford that this evening. They're going to have to clean up on all their free throws. Despite his excellent outside shooting from behind the arc, he's just 62% from the foul line. 1 out of 2. Franklin on the board, but down 5-1. Sheldon staying patient in their zone offense, trying to probe for weaknesses.
And they have a balanced attack around the 3-point line. Anybody can shoot it at any given moment. So Franklin's going to have to play in the zone very tight, obviously, because they don't want to give up dunks and things like that. But they're going to have to play a very aggressive closeouts with high hands on the 3-point line.
Inbound lob goes to Williams. They set their offense.
I like the activeness right now by Franklin, maintaining, but they know here comes the double team down low on Davion Brown.
There's been 4 loose balls so far, and Sheldon's gotten to all 4 of them.
And that's accredited to their length.
Baseline drive, disallow the bucket, but a foul on the drive. So Davion Wright called for the foul. It's his first, and he cannot afford to be in foul trouble tonight.
No.
Okay, push it hard. Hargrove splits 2, loses the rock. It's a turnover. Up the floor, 1-on-2. The trailer, got it. Nice balance there, cashed in by Hewlett. He's got 5 of their 7.
Now, Hewlett might be one of the secret weapons, the gems that I think the Huskies have. He's really long, athletic, senior, unsigned, just trying to scrap and fight and get an opportunity, and he's really been a weapon.
Green fires, short on the miss. Huskies have it, take it all the way. A miss, but a foul. Now, Hargrove was there, don't know who the call is on. And so they're going to clip. Fabregon has picked up 2 quick fouls. And free throw good by Williams. Let's take another look.
Williams, nobody stops him in transition. He pretty much goes to the rim. The little pullback allows him to get contact on the arm, and now he's at the free throw line.
Customarily a starter, Jalen Roberts enters the contest for Franklin. He's been sidelined with an injury, but coming off the bench with the 2 fouls now on Fabregon. 1 out of 2 at the stripe for Williams. 8-1 Huskies.
Roberts comes in. I know he has a bad wheel on him right now, but he can rebound extremely well. He moves the ball really well, takes charges, does some of the intangibles, so this might be a help for Franklin.
No good on the drive at the other end. A hard slam dunk, and already some taunting in the face as it was ripped hard by Josh Williams.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. And he dunked that with some authority. He had a statement to make, and he definitely made it.
Well, it's on now. If it wasn't already, that was a declaration of war.
that's not what you want to see when you see the 6'1" guard get a dunk in transition.
And he completes the three-point play.
And you can tell this Delta League is nitty-gritty, nasty. There is no boys in this league for sure.
Josh Williams really putting it on Franklin here in the first quarter. Jump shot missed, too long, tapped out long, and they got that loose ball, but nearly thrown away. Into the ball game for Franklin, off the bench, guard Javon Evans. He wears number 11 as Blackman sat down.
And you can tell it kind of took some thunder as Coach Manfredi. He's going to still keep fighting and still keep pushing, but the Wildcats players have to respond now big. And you see Roberts grabbing a rebound strong there. That's why he's in the ball game right now.
That's his sport, no doubt. He's impressed us on many occasions.
And you see here, Josh Williams said, "Give me all of that."
Good work, Andrew.
That's an ESPN highlight right there.
So, two Huskies sit down. Boy, Hargrove and Wright have been getting heavy defensive application.
And this is what you want to see, though. There's top players. This is their leading scorer. I have to be aggressive, but I think Brown just picked up his second Xavier on that one.
He did.
Oh.
Well, our officials are keeping a close eye on this ball game. They're not going to let anything get out of hand.
And this is where players like Green, players like Wright are going to have to step up in this game and show them something. But now, Hargrove just picked up his second.
Moving screen, foul trouble already. He's going to leave the ball game. So Blackman re-enters. That's already 6 fouls, 5 fouls I should say, on Franklin. 2.5 left here in a rapidly played first quarter. Nice to have you with us tonight for Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week. With Lauren Goodman, I'm Will James. Go ahead and settle in. This one's going to be a battle of attrition all night.
And now you see some smooth, ball movement right now by the Huskies. I want to see Franklin play a little bit tougher, a little bit more aggressive to the closeouts, because as the Huskies continue to score and continue to play aggressive defense, they're going to continue to go to the basket extremely hard.
Kick out to the corner. Again, firing away and finally connecting. Davion Wright with a deep 3 ball. And boy, they sure needed that.
Yes. And he shot that with confidence, walked right into the 3. A lot of how Franklin plays is with confidence. I've seen him play several times this season, and when they get to going and they're playing, making defensive stops, moving the basketball, getting execution, their offense looks extremely better.
That was Wright's first bucket after 4 early misses. 1:20 left. Foul line J missed. And transition for Franklin after the miss by Brown. Take it inside, a missed layup. Who wants it? Transition 3-on-2. Huskies in charge, leading 11-4, pushing it a little. Loose ball tapped away. That's a Husky turnover. Up the floor. Reverse layup off the bottom of the rim. That was well defended. Transition the other way, and it's going to be a block against Franklin on a borderline call. Blackman with his second foul.
I like the try, but not all the way there. Got to get his foot all the way on the sideline. Stopped. Just a little bit of movement where if he slides and cuts that all the way off on the black, he potentially gets that charge. But they say it's only his first, so.
Okay, let me reduce that number by 1. Into the post. Golly, probably a touch foul on Roberts, who's already made a nice impact since coming in.
Yes.
With 2 rebounds and a very good defensive positioning on the last possession. So Roberts, foul number 1. He's not at full capacity tonight, but he's going to sit down and get a quick rest. into the ball game. Veteran power forward, and they're going to need a lot of his contribution tonight. Malik Johnson. First free throw dropped nicely. Fisher on the scoreboard. He's had some big games lately for the Huskies. 1 out of 2.
Well, they got a lot of weapons, of course. We know that. They can go onto their bench, and they have a lot of talent, and it's great to see players stepping up right now when you have injuries and in the mid part of the season where we're about to get into the playoffs.
Corner jump shot buried sweetly. Southpaw shooting Javon Evans. Things are tightening up now. 12-7, a couple of 3 balls by Franklin have pulled them back into it here with just 15 seconds to go in the first quarter.
And it's all about playing strong and playing steady. They can't let the Huskies just sit and execute the last shot, so they got to play aggressive defense, close out strong. Not enough.
Corner jump shot drained. Harvey kills it before the first quarter buzzer. What a way to finish. We've played 1 here at Sheldon, and the host Huskies on top 15-7. We'll be right back.
Here's something we bet you didn't know. Nearly half of all cancers can be prevented. That's right, half. Nearly 50%, mostly by making small everyday changes in your diet and controlling your weight, walking more, eating less, and eating foods that help you and your family to seriously reduce the risk of cancer. And of course, by not smoking. Visit the Cancer Prevention Together We Can website and get a free 30-day planner filled with tips, recipes, stats, and more about protecting your family. Go to prevent50.org.
Nice to have you with us tonight for Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week. We move to second quarter action in this high-profile Delta League matchup. Sheldon entertaining Franklin tonight. It's a rematch. They had their first encounter back on January 8th. That was a victory for Sheldon after coming from behind. Tonight, the scenario is flipped at the present time. It'll have to be Franklin coming from behind. We'll see how that continues to develop. On the point, Zavion Brown, they start their offense. Number 0, Yarrow Harvey, who concluded the first quarter with a 3-ball on the point. Jay on the way, over and off, no good. Tapped up, rebounded neatly by Pierce Davis of the Huskies. They reset. Loose ball in the key, call it a turnover. Third of the game for the Huskies.
And right now I want to see the Wildcats play with a lot more confidence than they did in the first half. You can see some plays just didn't go their way as they got the offensive rebound there, but I don't see any confidence as they're moving the ball and shooting the ball as a team.
Got to agree with you, Goody. At the foul line, Johnson.
A lot of that has to do with the defense right now you see by the Huskies. They're playing extremely tight defense, and there's still time on the clock, but with that 5-second count, things can get scary.
A steal here. 3-on-1. Little footwork and a blown layup. The rebound bobbled out of bounds by Johnson. So the 4th turnover of the game for Franklin does not cost the Wildcats right now, but Sheldon has the rock under the Franklin bucket, so this sequence is not yet complete. Baseline right, inbound will come from Brown. High lob, comes all the way out. Lealy into the ball game wearing number 11. Joey Rawlings using his rotation nicely. Air ball long. And Franklin up the 4, trailing 15-7. Green, a miss, but he draws a foul. That was a good matchup for Green. He's probably got about a 5-inch advantage on that matchup with Jaden Lealy.
I like it because you get some type of movement, some type of attack to the basket. Also want to see him be confident in it as you see him missing the first. If I know I have a matchup and I'm going to try to exploit it, you got to do it with confidence.
Darren Tobias checks back in for the Huskies, number 10. Green misses both free throws. Uncontested rebound, Tobias.
And again, we see the Wildcats getting a 2-3 zone because they need to conserve energy as well as guard all this height.
Nice baby hook there by Tobias, and he dropped it sweetly. 17-7, Huskies creeping away a little bit here.
And that's what we talked about in the pregame, though, Will. They just have so many weapons and depth, and they have, I mean, they're not subbing off short players. They're subbing off 6'4", 6'5s.
Roberts hustling on the offensive glass and follows up.
That was a good, strong play for Roberts, and that's what he does extremely well. Gets great positioning, gets the basketball to rebound it, and then put it back up.
17-9, cautiously up the floor. Hewlett pulls up for a J and clanks it. Now, Roberts, part of that rebounding effort, but it's yanked down beautifully by Evans.
I like Evans kind of just gambling for that win and contesting, just making it tough.
Another turnover up the floor, 1-on-1. Right is back, a layup down. Sweet body control, Hewlett.
Hewlett giving us a little razzle dazzle.
Wright hits another three. He's starting to warm up now.
Something he does so well. And his second, when he walks into it, he's very comfortable, especially shooting from the top.
Turn around, Jay. Soft touch. Just dump it on down to Tobias.
We're seeing some offensive flow going both ways.
Tempo picking up. Another Franklin turnover. They've got 6 of them. Streaking to the bucket. A missed dunk that comes out long from Brown.
Can the Wildcats take advantage of it?
Four and a half to go. This second quarter is flying by.
And it's all about being ready, being ready. They've tried to dump it to Roberts a couple of times as it stays Franklin's basketball, but he hasn't been ready or able to handle it because of the length and the clogged upness in the key.
So Roberts out, Johnson in for the Wildcats.
That was a good sub. I think he needed a blow just to get his mind right. Kind of fumbled a couple of passes. When he comes back in, he's going to be extremely well. 7 turnovers for the Wildcats, though. They got to clean that up.
4-10, nearing midway second. Both clubs starting to loosen up some, and open jump shooter, miss from the southpaw of the alley. Here come the Wildcats. Looking for a bucket. They're down 9. In and out, tough luck. A miss there from Evans. Nice ball movement. A miss on the open J. Good rebounding effort. Take it back in with a muscle shot, and that's a miss. But good effort there by Tobias.
That was a good, strong rebound. I liked that he went back up with it instead of trying to kick it out.
A couple of the Wildcats have been reluctant to take some somewhat open jumpers. Right, a lob inside, dangerous. Slap from behind on a rejection there by Tobias. Husky transition, open J from the corner, A push-off, no call, and now it's going to be a foul on Johnson. But I'll tell you, there's no doubt Xavier Brown got away with one there. So they call Blackman for the foul. He's in for 2 of them now. And he's probably going to come out of the ballgame here after this first free throw. Short on number 1. A 70% free thrower. Missing number 1.
This is a weapon Xavier Brown hasn't really opened the three-point shooting up. He did extremely well in the first game when they played him. He was the offensive spark and leading scorer, and he goes 0 for 2 from the free throw line. So see how long he plays to get some rhythm for Joey.
Right, mishandles the rock, and it's out of bounds. Another Franklin turnover.
Coach Manfredi just has his hands on his head. Surprisingly enough, we only have 2 minutes left in the first half, and there hasn't been a timeout called yet.
No, this is the fastest first half we've seen in a long time. Hargrove back into the ball game with 2 fouls for Franklin. They need his scoring. Deep J, pow! Nothing but net.
There it goes.
Johnson killed that 3. Time out. It comes at the 2:33 mark. It's a full timeout called by Franklin. Well, certainly when we broke this game down earlier in the week, we identified some things here, Goody, that are going to play up big tonight.
Well, we needed a strong start for sure, and Sheldon came out blazing. We needed a stronger start for Franklin, but they weren't able to get it going. Also, being able to capitalize off defensive stops right now, the Huskies have forced 8 turnovers, and I think only 3 of them maybe have been forced. So right now, they're going to have to capitalize off those mistakes and then also control the tempo by execution. I'm seeing it right now by the Huskies. They're taking their time, being really patient, getting what they are given. But on the other side, I want to see them control the tempo by being able to score and turn that into something, whether it's a defensive stop or continue to get the offense going. They got to get 3 buckets in a row to start a run, and that's what the Wildcats need right now to change the things in the game.
And the early foul trouble immediately disrupted their starting lineup and put Franklin into the deeper in their rotation. So with Hargrove back in there now, let's see how they work it. 2:20 left here in the first. 24-12. Huskies by a dozen.
Now, one reason it's so easy to guard Franklin right now on the perimeter is because they don't dump the ball really in. And so they don't have that inside-out game. The ball's getting kind of stagnant. Shot clock on 1.
Down! Deep clutch 3 ball. Dyer killed it. A big bucket for the Wildcats. They sure needed that.
Coming off the bench, you just got to be ready. Good catch and shoot. That was in the deepest parts of the shot clock. And they're able to knock it in. And now we see a change here, kind of running like a 1-3-1 set, a 3-2 set, but they got to get out there on the three-point shooters. We talked about it earlier. They have a balanced attack, but not with this rebounding right now.
Boy, oh boy. They're letting it play, that's for sure. Pull-up jump shot, air ball long. However, Hargrove fumbles it away. I'm calling it a turnover.
Absolutely.
Transition, layup. And again, Josh Williams hurting the Wildcats, and here's another turnover on the inbound. Number 10.
Just a little bit of carelessness, energy. 10 turnovers right now. And you see all the Huskies, Wildcats shaking their heads. They should be, because they need to take care of the basketball a lot better than they're doing right now.
1:05 to go. Late second. Drive it, lay it, miss. Over the back, no call. Tobias very aggressive on those. Transition, Hargrove, and the Wildcats down.
Nice fake to the lay.
His first points of the game, but right back on the other end. Transition. Williams now into double figures for the Huskies.
And Williams is playing big right now as a senior guard carrying the Huskies. Green able to knock that one in.
Al Green, the transfer from Elk Grove, has his first field goal.
Taking advantage of the mismatch. I like it. And a lot more confidence on that drive.
Five seconds. Williams down. What a first half turned in by Sheldon Huskies guard, Josh Williams. 31-19 after that three ball. And the Franklin Wildcats in a position they were desperately hoping to avoid tonight, and that's a big early deficit, having to play comeback. And we see Kenny Manfredi coming out to the midcourt now to re-engage in some conversation with our two game officials. To what avail, I don't know, but certainly displeased with what evolved with some of the calls. Let's turn our attention down to floor level. Lauren Goodman with Joey Rawlings. Goody?
Well, I'm here with the head coach of the Huskies, Joey Rawlings. Coach, came out pretty balanced attack. How you feel about your team's performance?
I like it right now. I thought the defense was good. The rebounding was well. We missed a couple easy shots, but I like us so far right now. We're playing hard.
Now you super locked in, already talking to players as you guys are walking to the locker room. What's the first adjustment you feel like your team needs to make right now?
I think we just got to make the easy shots. We're playing great defense. We're capitalizing on that. We're pushing the ball down the floor. I think we just got to keep pushing it, keep helping on defense, and no open shots.
Awesome, Coach. Good luck in the second half. Will.
Thank you, Lauren. Yes, I would imagine he would be pretty pleased with his ball club's performance. It's not a given every single night in and night out, but that was a solid 16 minutes there and a nice flurry to post that Sheldon total at 31. Well, don't wander off. When we come back from this break, we'll continue our halftime activities here from Sheldon High School and more of Access Sacramento's hometown sports game of the week.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's put a ride home.
Hi, I'm Lourdes Stefan, host of Univision's Sal y Pimienta. Cancer doesn't just change the way you feel, it changes the way you look. From losing your hair, even your eyebrows, to changes in your skin and nails, cancer treatment can rob you of your confidence and self-esteem. But Look Good, Feel Better changes all that. More than 800,000 women have learned how to address the appearance side effects of cancer treatment through our workshops. Visit lookgoodfeelbetter.org to find a free workshop near you. Let Look Good, Feel Better help you feel like you again.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
We are at the intermission here at Sheldon High School for tonight's Access Sacramento Hometown Sports Game of the Week. With Lauren Goodman, I am Will James, and a furious second quarter flipped the script on kind of a slow start by both clubs. And again, a flurry of turnovers, 10 of them in the first half by Franklin, led to lots of transition and some easy buckets for Sheldon.
It sure did, and if they don't have a lot more confidence in moving the ball with some continuity, they're going to struggle for the rest of this half. You saw Coach Rawlings talking about his team having a really balanced attack and coming out really strong, playing on the defensive end, creating those, and that starts with those 10 turnovers that they created to get on the other side offensively.
It sure did. And what a quarter guard Josh Williams had for the Huskies. He had 13 points in the quarter, almost equally split. And the 13 included a three-point play off of a slam and a three-point bucket. So he did a little bit of everything and led the way for the Huskies. We did see that in the outset, of our pregame, we were talking about how crazy and unpredictable the Delta League is. They're so stacked with strong teams, anybody can get anybody on a given night.
Yeah, it's one of the toughest leagues in the state for a reason, and you see Sheldon sitting at that 4-1. They took their one loss to Consumnes Oaks in a nail biter down at the Wolfpack Den, but Jesuit sitting at second, who lost to Franklin at Jesuit. Consumnes Oaks coming in at 4-2. Their only two losses is to Franklin and Jesuit. So Elk Grove able to, and you see they're ahead of Franklin right now because they were able to defeat Franklin Davis in Pleasant Grove, losing to the top 3. So it's an interesting one. Right now, Consumnes Oaks is down at Davis playing in a matchup, and we got some intense games, and there's a reason why this league is so strong. They are highly regarded, highly recruited, a lot of talent, but any given night, anybody can lose.
Well, this is one of those contrary, unexplainable things in sports. Despite having a 31-19 lead on the scoreboard, the rebounding totals in the first half, very impressive for Franklin, 17 rebounds to 11, but Franklin turning the ball over and missing too many shots.
Too many. And I think, too, is just confidence. When they move the ball crisp and are getting it around and getting a couple touches, I think, too, they're kind of very concerned with the shot blocking ability by the Huskies. So when you see that, you see a lot of pump fakes, which is working to their advantage, but once they make a pump fake and make the next pass, then they need to be ready to shoot.
Well, we mentioned early on that Sheldon had a little traveling.
Yes, they did.
Earlier this season, and there's a little summary of that, and you can see by the highlighted areas it wasn't just local travel.
No, they started this month off coming off extremely big tournaments in December, and then they also came into Delta League play, very competitive. We had MLK weekend where they got an opportunity to go to a couple of the challenges, and then they traveled last week out of state. So they've had a flurry of games, and it's been extremely tough on the players, obviously flying in and taking red eyes and things like that was some of the contribution to the CO loss. Obviously, they took a red-eye flight before that game, and then they flew out the next day to go to Illinois in the Midwest. So this team is not number 5 in the state for no reason. They have a highly touted schedule, and I think this probably is one of the most busiest schedules Rawlings has ever had in his coaching career.
Well, busy indeed is an understatement. Dave Larson has compiled the first half statistics in this one, and there you see the numbers having been crunched.
Oh, it's all Huskies right now. They're playing extremely well, and you see right now Franklin being able to win the rebounding, which is really good, gives them extra opportunities to get to the ball, but then right under that, the 10 turnovers. 10 turnovers is too many at this level to be successful, especially with this team, to keep the game close. You can't have 10 turnovers.
10 turnovers and 30% shooting, the majority of their downfall in the first half. And we'll see if the visiting Wildcats can turn that around in the second half. We've had a raucous crowd here this evening at Sheldon High School. The Huskies, of course, long-standing tradition of boys basketball excellence, having twice appeared in the CIF state championship game in the upper divisions, and countless Northern California tournament appearances to have really identified Sheldon as an elite type of high school basketball program. And they have certainly lived up to that accolade with a strong showing here in the first half, leading at 31-19 as both teams are going to their respective benches. And we'll see if Lauren is going to give us a little bit of update, having heard a few comments from the Franklin coaching contingent. As a matter of fact, I see her moving over to our staging area, so it'll be interesting to note what Ken Manfredi may have shared. Let's see if we can get that information forthcoming. But what we've got here is 2 teams from a Delta League comprised of 7 teams. 6 of them can beat anybody in the area. So here we are, ready to begin second half action. Franklin will have the rock. Davion Wright to do the inbounding at midcourt just in front of us. And it will be quite essential for the Wildcats to get off to a very strong start here in the third.
Coach Manfredi said energy. Wants them to come out, play strong, play with energy.
Well, Javon Evans starts the second half. He was off the bench early in the game. Nearly a turnover. Tapped away, but recovered. Layup blocked out of there. Tough D there.
That's why there was some reluctance in going to the basket, but you see Brown using his speed coming back the other way, getting to the line.
Xavion Brown with the block. Let's take another look at it.
Go get it, young fella. And he's extremely athletic. It's an understatement on how athletic he actually is. And to just think that he's getting recruited, of course, but not signed, sealed, and delivered to a school yet.
Xavion Brown stumbles home, free throw number 1. So Sheldon on the board first here in the third quarter, stretching out now from the foul line. Lane violation.
Lane violation called on the Huskies. Wildcats ball.
So 1 out of 2, they settle. 32-19. Let's see if we have that look now that Franklin is going to have to assume if they're going to climb back into this ball game. On the road against the top-rated ball club that is perennially nationally rated. Right? Now here's a deep J, missed short by Evans. Transition, and another layup by Williams. Give him 15 for the game. 34-19. Deep J missed by Green, 1 and done. Not much offense there.
No, Williams hasn't been stopped yet. There isn't really a defensive assignment, but we got to pick up. Oh.
Whistle and a foul against the Huskies.
Offensive foul called on Huskies number 12, John Terrell. Second personal, first Huskies team foul.
Well, evidently they called Hewlett for the foul. We'll give it to him. Wright looking for help. No floor balance and a poor pass and another turnover. Look out. Layup is good. Xavion, we talked about team speed. I think he just showed a little bit of that right there, flying down the floor. Timeout taken. It's a 30 taken by Franklin, and Ken Manfredi had seen enough. He was ready to call that timeout when they settled for the green jumper after 1 pass.
Yeah, and a lot of it right now is getting continuity. He hasn't had his team together for the entire season, so he's had a different team in preseason. He's having players coming in from transfers. He's had a couple of injuries, so right now you could tell in the Wildcats that they don't really have that smoothness that they had maybe a year ago. Also, the difference is I think they have more of a balanced attack this year, but last year they had an amazing player in Leland Anastasio who knew how to take over the game. Sometimes it's very special to have a player like that who can know how to take over the game when he needs to, but also get his teammates involved.
And they did just that about a year ago when Franklin upset Sheldon in the first half. Green under pressure. Evans finds the open man. Blackman. Jazz played a little rhythm and blues on that one. Call it 2. Deep J, a miss. Nice block out there by the Wildcats.
And that's what I was talking about on the last possession. How does Williams get a wide open shot like that? Can't happen, and then there goes a turnover.
That makes 12. But the Huskies give it back. They've done a nice job taking care of the basketball. That's just their 4th turnover of the ball game. 36-21. Franklin's going to have to climb a high mountain to get back in this one.
And they dug a hole for themselves, but they're going to have to find a way to
Oh,
get out.
he saw that one coming, took steps from here to there and missed the slam.
Too many, or picked it up too early on that one.
Wheel and deal, a miss by Wright. Transition now, tempo again picking up. Nice dish and a layup. Cashed in beautifully. Xavier gets the bucket. Williams with the nice feed. Deep J Wright, short. Oh boy, let's go. Josh Williams, here we go. Layup, missed. Board crash, unsuccessful. Wright boards it. Should say Hargrove got the feed back from Wright. Tapped out by the Huskies.
Some frantic play there. But it seems like the Wildcats were able to secure. And again, even with the plays that the Huskies have had, they haven't had too many breakaways. As you see Coach Manfredi on the sideline right now, giving the knowledge to his team.
Baseline inbound. Evans looking to get it into Wright. Misses the fadeaway. Jay. Huskies, boom! Right down Broadway, and with 2 hands, he crammed it to his elbows.
Doing what he does best. Doing what he does best. Getting out in transition and attacking hard, as you see Hargrove.
Let's take another look at that poetry. Here he comes, right at you.
And I mean, clear out the lane.
They sure did clear out. I mean, there was no defense there, not even a bluff.
And they paid attention a little bit. They put a watch party on.
Oh, I can't figure that one. Well, there he is, Zavion Brown. If he was playing in Louisville, they'd call him Dr. Duncanstein.
Absolutely. If you look at any of his highlights, look him up on YouTube, look him up on Instagram. He's a high flyer.
Hargrove settles for the fadeaway J on a double team, misses short. Williams fouled on the arm, apparently by Hargrove. He knew it.
And that was owed. No foul. You know, no harm, no foul. But you dunk on me, I got to foul you on the next one. I can't give you an easy basket. I got to grab you on the arm.
Wow. Stuck in off the glass. Tobias with an easy bucket. And it goes from bad to worse. 42-21. They've been doubled. Corner J, missed by Wright.
The easy ones are what's killing them. They're not making difficult shots. So when you get easy layups, easy shots like that, wide open.
Who wants it? Better hustle by the Huskies. In close, and thank you very much. I'll just drop it home, says Hewlett. Timeout taken, and this one is out of hand. Midway third. Full timeout taken by Franklin, and they need a full timeout. Trailing 44-21. This third quarter is a 13-2 blitz to stretch a 12-point lead to 21.
Ooh. It's gotten out of control.
And it should be mentioned that we were talking about star power earlier. The fact is, Sheldon is playing without their centerpiece. Marcus Bagley averaging 23 points and 9 rebounds for Sheldon, a mere spectator this evening, and we can see that they're perfectly adaptable to play without him.
Yes, they're 17-4, and in those 4 losses, they've played tough teams. These young kids are really, really battle tested. And again, you have a full load of seniors on the floor. It's easy when you can let seniors lead the way, and there's no mishaps when you have 5 seniors on the floor.
A quick inbound as they came back to play. Shaky pass in the paint, and Coach Manfredi has brought in several new players. Pull-up jump shot, Evans, a miss, and it's the Huskies showing the better rebounding with Dontrell Hewlett. And a drive and a miss, but a foul. He was able to get all the way to the cup after his defensive rebound.
Hewlett, he impressed us in game 1, and he's continuing today. He's just super long and athletic, and there was a couple of sweat on the floor, but
Hewlett, a 70% free thrower, will go to the line to shoot a pair. In the first half, Sheldon shot just 3 of 7 from the foul line, and 1 of 2 since then. Well, here he comes right at you.
down the lane. No, but again, every foul or every easy bucket they've had, nobody's stopping them. Nobody is stepping up and trying to take those charges, which Franklin has been known for and really good at. Not one person. And that's that fear of getting dunked on. You know, everybody doesn't want to be in the poster, and I understand that, but we got to play some better defense than we're playing right now, guys.
That's a fact. Here's a shot high off the side of the backboard, taken and missed by Ethan Miller. And I think what you're talking about there, Coach Manfredi just plucked 3 players that weren't showing that type of hustle. Break up and steal. Ethan Miller, and a break up out of bounds to Franklin. That was just Sheldon's 5th turnover in more than 2.5 quarters.
They played extremely well today, solid as a team, and you couldn't ask for more from Coach Rawlings, and he's going to his bench of players who've been playing big and stepping up as role players.
Well, Davion Wright has another bucket. He just went 1-on-3, but a layup at the other end just neutralizes that as Tobias scored with ease on that.
Tobias has gotten a lot of buckets around the rim and standing solid in that middle as he's coming in right now for Bagley. Big shoes to fill, but he's definitely doing a phenomenal job.
Well, Evans missed a wild flip, but we'll credit nice effort on the rebound by Fadrigan. Non-shooting. Wildcats will inbound baseline right. 3 substitutions on the floor for the Huskies, and they all played well in the first half. Kick out from Fadrigan. Williams a reach in on Green. His first.
And he was reaching unnecessarily, just playing over aggressive to create turnovers. And that's why it's so important that you protect the ball and is strong with the basketball and confidently. They're reaching, for sure they are. Are they fouling? Absolutely. But if you're the one that's not being aggressive and not taking that, then.
Well, Al Green, that's his fort. 3-ball shooting at about a 42% clip. But they're going to need a lot more than that. 47-26. Foul line, Jay on the way, and it stumbles home neatly for the big man, Pierce Davis.
I mean, they're already at 6 different scorers in this quarter. That's a well-balanced attack. Got to hit it.
Open from the corner, nice effort there. Ethan Miller with a 3, and he's made a nice contribution.
And that's their game. That's their 6-3 on the game, and they're gonna have to keep shooting it as they get another turnover.
49-29, Franklin in a deep hole.
And this would be the opportunity or the moment to take over. You see a nasty block right there. What they call goaltending.
I do believe so.
But right now, the starters, and you see Rawlings calling the timeout right now, and that's to get on the second unit because you got to take advantage of the rotations in the bench coming in. They don't have their same depth, so they have a different second string right now. He subbed all 5 out. You got to take advantage of it.
Well, timeout on the floor. This game has had an unusual flow to it as we have a good look at Ken Manfredi in the middle of that Franklin huddle. Always the educator. And for the most part, you know, he's done a heck of a job at keeping calm.
He has. But that's something Coach Manfredi has matured over, you know, the last 15 years he's been coaching. He is a calm, collected type of guy, and it's all about getting the best out of every player.
Spin move and an arm lock. Whistle and a foul. That was a real tight spin, wasn't it? Cashed in there by Yarrow Harvey. Roberts called for the foul, and here's another foul. Baseline inbound on the shot. Fisher to the line.
And I don't even know if Franklin knew the ball was being inbounded on that last play.
Roberts now with 3 fouls. Back rim no on number 1. 41 seconds left here in the third, and it has been all Sheldon thus far. 1 out of 2, make it 50-31.
And get the ball up quick, I like it.
Evans trying to shake loose. Turnover Franklin. Now 26 seconds, and the Wildcats deploy in full court pressure, trying to make something out of nothing here, but they beat the press up the floor. A miss on the drive, a miss on the follow, actually a block out of bounds to Sheldon.
And I like Roberts with the contest. I'm not getting dunked on tonight.
No, he's excellent. He really brings a lot. Unfortunate he's not at full capacity tonight, but nevertheless, playing some good ball. Williams off balance, misses the bank. Nice rebounding, break up, and I'll tell you, Ethan Miller's earning his keep tonight off the bench.
Absolutely, he's playing extreme, and that's just playing hard. You see Coach Manfredi clapping almost to half court right now because Miller's effort right now. Evans came off the bench. I like the effort. Sometimes it's the second guys and it's the bench guys who aren't really afraid, and they're really tough, as you see Josh Williams getting another opportunity at the free throw line.
Boy, that was tough maneuvering just to get inside that deep. Evans fouled him. And Williams back to the stripe. On the night, he's 2 out of 3 from there. All of that in the first half, and this first one pops out. Number 2, in and out, missed them both. Out of bounds to Franklin. 3.5 on the clock. Let's see what they're going to do with it. Blackman sends it into Green, who nearly traveled. 1 second. And that is a buzzer ending the third, and the top-ranked Sheldon Huskies are cruising with a 50-31 lead. We'll be right back.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on, man, let's put a ride home.
Well, there you see it by the numbers. Sheldon playing an excellent ball game tonight. Cannot say the same for Franklin. We got 1 quarter to go. Let's see what they're made of.
They got to play up, up, up.
Zavion Brown defended loosely by Wright. Feed the post. Back inside. The shot missed. Rebounded by Hargrove.
And here's the Franklin's first group, Sheldon's first group, with a couple wrinkles, so got to play big.
Davion Wright, air ball long on the 3. Ooh.
And I like how the Huskies are just taking their time. They can go every time and make it easy, but.
Well, Tobias sure had an easy time. Nice feed. Nice entry from out there on the perimeter.
You can tell this group has so much chemistry together on the Husky side.
Whistle and a foul on the Evans drive. Taking on the diminutive Lely. That's his second foul. And it places Evans at the stripe. And he drops number 1. That's his 4th point and first since a first quarter 3 ball. He drops them both. 2 out of 2, 52-33. Huskies beat the press. Numbers at the other end. And they reset. They are wearing it out in the post. Here's the tap away. Miller ahead to Evans. Got it.
I like Evans.
At the other end, a slam dunk viciously by Hewlett.
And that's what they do, push the ball out in tempo and get those easy bams.
Deep J missed by Evans. Rebound by Tobias. All the way, boom! He took it strong, and Zavion Brown went right through their entire defense and crammed it hard. Time out taken. It's in a 30. Apparently, we'll hold that. Okay. We talked about the Dunkorama, and here's how it looked last time. Here's how it looks this time. First of 2. Here's number 2.
Fly.
Ooh-wee.
No mercy on the rim. Ooh, ouch.
No, there was no mercy. 56-35 after that Thunder dunk. 6:05 early 4th, but I think the statement has been clearly delivered. The same type of statement Sheldon delivered to Elk Grove earlier this week.
Ooh. Talking about Elk Grove right now, they're in progress against Pleasant Grove at Pleasant Grove. We also have a 28-28 tie right now at Burbank. Burbank and Grant facing off pretty much for the league title, 28-28.
Oh,
right
my
now.
goodness.
Oak Ridge has a 7-point lead over Granite Bay, 49-42. And Folsom right now up over Rockland by 6. So some great games going on all around the city right now.
Yeah, we'll take a look at your rankings in a moment here, but all those scores involved ranked teams. Back to action with nearly 6 minutes yet to play, but so far Sheldon has had all kinds of answers for anything Franklin's doing. Stop and go, Evans, Green on the drive, draws a foul. He'll be at the stripe to shoot 2. And umpire Mike Walters makes the call.
Now, Green's been known for his three-point shooting, but he's been attacking really well as he's able to connect on the first, really trying to take advantage of them overplaying on the three-point line and having some mismatches defensively, and he's been able to get to the line.
It's very difficult to create your own shot, and I think Green is finding that out. Pop it out, open J on the way, a long miss, BAM! Oh my word. Zabby on Brown.
He hasn't taken the parachute off yet, it seems like.
Green, a kick out to right. Another three from the corner by the sophomore gunner. And a steal and a layup by Hargrove.
They needed that one.
They sure did. Up the floor, they beat the press, and Tobias has an easy layup.
I like that he knew he had the one-on-one mismatch and didn't look to kick it out. He just went up easy and got the easy two.
60-42. Hargrove to Green, who fires. Clunk. Snap it ahead. Who wants it? Air ball short on the J by Harvey. Deep J. Hargrove has the three ball.
Shooting with a lot of confidence right now.
Harvey misses. Rebound taken down by Hargrove. 4.5 to go.
Can't speak to their defense, though. They're giving up some easy layups. As you see here, uh-oh.
That's a cherry-picked layup, and I like the way Hewlett handles that. He could have done all kinds of things with that and just took the easy layup. Nice and calm.
Yes.
Evans wants it. Back cut. Miller stripped away from behind. Out of bounds to Franklin. Two subs in for the Huskies. Harvey and Williams take the floor. I should say Harvey sits down with Brown. Williams on the floor. Inbound there. Wright snaps it. Good ball movement. Green. Hargrove drawing heavy double team pressure there. And here's a poor pass and a turnover. I have no explanation for that, Goody.
I thought he was trying to go James Harden to get the foul. You know, those prayer fouls like he's in the NBA, trying to get it up as he was getting contact. And right now, at the game's pace and what the score is, the officials are not calling calls like that right now.
Hargrove misses, comes up with a loose ball. That's a Husky turnover. Corner jumper, Ethan Miller a miss, comes out long. Williams has it, Green is back. Brown saves, another turnover.
And a little sloppy play right now by the Huskies. Want to see them tighten it up and clean it up. They've been playing clean all night, so want to see them finish that way. They got a tough matchup tomorrow, and they can't take this game lightly. Uh-oh.
Boom! Nice lob by Williams, and Brown crammed it hard as he's done all night. Zavion Brown. He's got Deep J killed by Green as the Wildcats answer. Timeout taken. Yes, indeed. The grade card always tells the truth.
This is how it shakes. Let's go top five. 1 Sheldon, 2 Rockland, 3 Franklin, 4 Jesuit, 5 Burbank. On the bottom end, 6 Folsom, 7 Wood Creek, 8 Grant, 9 Consumnes Oaks, number 10 Capital Christian. On the bubble, we got Whitney, Elk Grove, Davis, Inderkum, and coming in at 15, Monterey Trail. And there are the Husky cheerleaders. And we're looking in right now on Coach Manfredi's huddle, talking to his team. It's going to be an intense, 2 minutes and 50 left. But, again, the Wildcats got to play better defense, period. giving up too many easy attempts, easy buckets, and you see Coach Rawlings sitting down right now talking to his team. Didn't have to stand up one time tonight. That's a pretty laid back situation after, if you think about the busy week he's had, flying in early this week, playing Elk Grove, playing tonight, and then they play again tomorrow night in a makeup game.
Well, that's the way John Wooden used to coach. He very, very seldom was on his feet. Rolled up program, sitting down.
And this is going to be a lot of patience and execution by the Huskies. They don't have to force anything, but good job by the Wildcats trying to hustle and get it.
Boy, Brown did a tremendous job getting it back, and then he's the cutter. Nice feed. Foul on Franklin.
And I think he got hit in the eye on that last play.
He did. He surely did.
And we have a senior, trainer, been with the program.
Well, he's going to walk it off. Here's the contact and the foul.
See, when you're so athletic, he tried to go dunk it and got hit on the low side in the front and on the back side.
Jazz Blackman had the front. And I see the Imperator over here, Jim Domino, shaking head in obvious disagreement with the flow. And we would expect nothing less.
Nothing less. The Imperator of analysis.
That's his standard identification, if I'm not mistaken. Number 2 on the way, and all glass.
No rim on that one. They're going to get him a sub. I know it's very difficult to shoot after you get hit in the eye. Obviously, blurred vision, and he probably is going to get some contact solution or something in that eye.
Green, Nice jumping right there, splendidly rebounded. Well, that was impressive.
That was a strong rebound.
Fisher was smooth on that. 2:13 to go. Final stages of a Delta League matchup that prior to held a lot more attraction, but right now Sheldon really taking care of business at home. However, the Huskies commit a foul there. Williams. For all he's done this evening, just 2 fouls on the senior guard.
Again, you see a smoother, solid game when you have a load of seniors leading the way.
Up the floor, Green. He sends it to right. Straight away, Jay, that's his sweet spot, but he missed that one. Leaping board pulled down by Hewlett. Nice finesse right there, a little off timed. And I'll tell you, Fisher did a beautiful job on that. Deep J Green, Good jump in there. Johnson, a missed hook. Through traffic fast. Harvey, feed the wing. Williams, sweet money.
That's all day.
Foul line jump shot, in and out, tough luck. 3 Huskies rebounding. Let's take another look at long-range shooting at its best.
And again, nobody on him. Too late of a closeout. Wide open shot, knock it down, young fella.
Hard to believe, hard to believe. Timeout with just 1:09 left, and the Huskies holding a 69-48 lead. Back to action, cautiously up the floor, Williams. Less than a minute now. Foul line jump shot. Williams, another all net jumper. Correction, it was Harvey with the J. Got a whistle on a reach. So the foul called apparently on Dyer. So I should say number 13, Josiah Johnson. It'll be Miller at the stripe. No good on front end. Jay on the way. Pow! Harvey.
Coming off the bench, ready to go.
Green badgered in the backcourt. Heavy pressure even with the 74-48 lead. Dyer working against Kreit. Miller short. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Game ball. An impressive performance, to say the very least. Top-ranked Sheldon defended home hardwood beautifully tonight in a Delta League matchup against a tough contender and made it look rather easy en route to a very impressive 74-48 victory over the visiting Franklin Wildcats. So this again will jostle the Delta League standings. It won't do anything to Sheldon except keep them on the top spot. And for Franklin, the Wildcats dip below 500 in league play at 3-4, and we'll see what the rest of the Delta League contenders come up with as far as trying to gain ground and get a little bit closer to that top spot. Don't wander off. When we come back after this break, Lauren Goodman will be interviewing our players of the game and the winning coach, so stick around.
These are cool. Did you, what did
Bye-bye.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right.
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
Selfie. Nailed it.
Staring contest. You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
The verdict is in, and the decision is final this evening here at Sheldon High School in tonight's Hometown Sports Game of the Week matchup, a Delta League collision that figured to be a bit tighter than what actually happened. You see the numbers there, and it was not tight. It was a breeze for top-ranked Sheldon High School. Several players were standouts tonight for their respective teams, but our players of the game this evening for visiting Franklin, sophomore wing Davion Wright, and for the victorious Sheldon Huskies, senior guard Josh Williams. Lauren Goodman is standing by with our players of the game. Goody?
Well, Will, you guys see it there on the board. I'm here with the top 2 players that play players of the game, one for Franklin, one for Sheldon. And I'm going to start with Davion Wright. Just a sophomore guard, had 11 points tonight. How'd you get going today?
I got going. My teammates got me going, and they really try to get me involved this game. Yeah, that's about it.
Now, you play really, really strong on the offensive end, but you got to guard this guy on the other end. Just talk to me about your defensive plan and playing against Sheldon.
I got a lot of respect for them, Good team, good squad. Guarding him, it's a great challenge, sophomore, senior. So, I just try to get better every time I play him.
Now, you guys play really well as a team. You guys are growing. Got a couple injuries, and that's going to get better into the season. I mean, it's up for grabs. You guys have a good run to go. How do you feel about your team finishing out the rest of the season?
Oh, I feel like we're finna improve a lot from this game. I feel like we got better this game. You gave us a wake-up call for the second half of the season. We're finna go out there and improve for the next half of the season.
Awesome, Davion. Well, you had a good game, 11 points. Keep it going. Congratulations. Now, I'm here with the leader for the Sheldon Huskies, Josh Williams. You had some ton of plays out there today. You had 15 points came on. What was going for you offensively today?
Offensively, I felt like we knew that they was going to come out in 2-3 zones, so we were just trying to space the floor, but not too space, get up on the three-point line, so everybody has to come guard us, and they did. So the middle was open, and the swings was open for the three-point, got my three-point going, so yeah.
Now, this is the show's game of the week, but now you had the play of the game, obviously. ESPN, big-time dunk out there. What was the kind of chatter and what was going through your mind during that play?
Well, with the play before, I had a layup, and I feel like I could have dunked that one. So I was like, if I got the opportunity again, former teammate, obviously, so I gotta go get it, and I did. So that was it.
Now, you guys had a really balanced attack. Obviously, Xavier playing well, Tobias playing really well. How easy is it for you as a point guard when your team is kind of scoring everywhere and then you have a balanced attack?
Oh, it's real easy. Everybody contributing, everybody keeping the space for the floor space. It's real easy. Darren's a big guy in the post. So if we get it to him, he's going to score. But we got good guys that can shoot if we kick it out to the wing. So it's all good.
How you feeling about your team right now? I know you guys play Jesuit tomorrow. That's going to be a tough another Delta League matchup. But your goals and aspirations are to get to that state game. So how do you feel your team is going to go finish out?
I feel like take no one lightly. We had a bad loss a couple weeks back in the Delta League game. And from there, I think it kind of changed our mentality. Never take anybody lightly, no matter the record or anything. So just come out strong, try to kill every team, and we're going to go only going from there.
Awesome. Well, you played well. Congratulations again on being our player of the game. Will.
Thanks, Goody. No doubt superior performance and the senior leadership to go along with that. A splendid game all the way around for Josh Williams. Unofficially a 20-point total. 13 of those coming in the first half when he jump-started Sheldon's offense and helped get them out to an early lead that they maintained rather effortlessly. Well, Dave Larson crunched up the numbers pretty good for us. Let's take a look at final stats in tonight's contest. And you can see right from the top all the way to the bottom, it was rather one-sided, Goody.
Yeah, it was all Sheldon. They played extremely well, but shooting 28% from the field, you can't be successful that way. 50% from the free throw line with all these shooters they had, you would assume they would do better. But at the bottom, 18 turnovers. It's very difficult to win a high school game at this level with that many turnovers. So, and I think at the end, too, as well, with the Huskies finishing with 11, and a lot of those came in the second half, just finishing the game crisp. As they talked about, as you heard Williams, they have big goals and aspirations, and for them to push to the second level, they got to maintain it, keep it probably under 10 throughout the game, and they'll have a long future.
The only area that would possibly raise an eyebrow in terms of Sheldon's performance, shaky from the foul line tonight. It didn't matter this evening, certainly, because they put up enough to make it be lopsided, but 6 for 17 shooting is not what you want to have down the road when they're going to be playing some teams for bigger stakes. Well, this one is in the can, and we've got something special coming up for you next week on the Hometown Sports Game of the Week. The girls will be taking center stage, as they should. at least half the time, huh, Goody?
Absolutely. When the girls are on stage, we're on front center. So this is a good matchup to get back to girls play. The last game we had was phenomenal. I think this one is going to be right at that same level. This is another league opportunity. Obviously, both of these teams trying to fight for that second spot. Elk Grove currently at the second spot, but St. Francis can switch things. Franklin's showing their dominance, but this is going to be another good Delta League matchup that we want to see.
It surely will. So you might want to mark your calendar or set your recorder. That's Friday the 7th, coming up in a 1 week's time. We will be south of the border at Elk Grove High, courtesy of athletic director and head football coach John Heffernan. And it will be St. Francis as the visitors in that contest. But here tonight, from beginning to end, from start to finish, from coast to coast, it was a most impressive performance by Joey Rawlings, top-rated Sheldon Huskies. Tonight, seizing control early and then maintaining it with a vice grip as Franklin was just unable to make any type of serious threat after the big lead was built up. And in the end, overwhelmingly efficient victory, 74-48, as Sheldon stops the visiting Franklin Wildcats. Many thanks to the lavish broadcast arrangements we have here at Sheldon High School. And tip of the cap to our game director, Nick Dunn, my broadcast buddy, Lauren Goodman, and the entire Hometown Sports Game of the Week broadcast crew, including our outstanding statistician, Dave Larson. I'm Will James. We thank you for joining us tonight. And as always, we look ahead to the next occasion when we can get together. So long, everyone.
This program from Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week is available for purchase on DVD. For more information, call Access Sacramento, 916-456-8600, extension 0. This has been a Hometown Sports Game of the Week broadcast from Access Sacramento. Major underwriting support this season for Hometown Sports Game of the Week on Access Sacramento is provided by the Sacramento Metropolitan Cable Television Commission. Access Sacramento also thanks Sharif Jewelers, fine jewelers since 1932. Sharif Jewelers, a longtime sponsor of community television. And Folsom Lake Honda, a proud sponsor of Access Sacramento's Hometown TV and Game of the Week, and a partner in our community, Folsom Lake Honda.